Friends, what's the 411? What is up? What is the hot goss? So we are in, or I am in, you guys are not with me. I am in the final weeks of my residency. It is February 26th, and the solo show with the residency work is on March 9th. So if you're in San Antonio or nearby, come to that. It's at Southtown Art Gallery. So things are winding down. I'm finishing some pieces, doing some tying up some loose ends, getting frames for stuff and marketing it online and stuff like that. I'm finishing the piece in the last vlog that you guys saw, that really big square one. I'm embroidering it, actually. I don't know if I showed you guys the car, but there's a car in the middle of it that I did a wash, and then now the lines on it, I'm embroidering it, so that's been very fun. And I've been working on my outfit, which I'll show you guys in a minute, what I have so far on that, and I've been planning for the future, what things come next. Yeah, and I also already sold one of the pieces before the show even has opened, so that is pretty cool. And it went to somebody who I like working with. We do a lot of really cool posters together, so I'm very happy that it went to somebody that I know and trust, and I know will make a great place in their home for it. It's the very first piece that I did in the residency, and holds a special place in my heart because of that. But this morning, I actually just got a message from somebody else and said, hey, we met at a show last year, the show called Paper Trail. It's a show that I do every year here in San Antonio, and I've done it, I think, since the first year. No, there was the very first year I didn't do it because I didn't know about it, but I've done it every single year since that they've been doing it. And it's like a printmaking, paper art kind of show, and I usually sell a lot of zines and prints there and some originals. But I always meet really cool people. It's one of my favorite shows of the year, and I met these people last year who we hit it off pretty well, and we bought each other's art, and I liked them a lot, and they were really cool. And then one of them messaged me today and said, hey, we actually have a gallery in the Rio Grande Valley, near the border, very, very south in Texas. And they were like, hey, do you want to do a solo show? And I was like, say no more. So that's pretty crazy that just happened. It just feels like this is my year. This is my fucking year. And it's also the year that I turned 30, and so that's pretty cool too. So for my 30th birthday, actually, I'll just talk about that real quick. It's in April, and my partner and I are going to this, we got this Airbnb that is this really cool, old water tower kind of thing, and they converted it into an Airbnb, and it's right on the Medina River, and so literally from the house, we overlook the river. This old water, it's like a water pump, an old huge water pump or something. I really can't remember, but it's really cool. It has no Wi-Fi, no TV. So we're gonna stay there for 4 days and do a lot of drawing, maybe go on some hikes, maybe go climb Enchanted Rock again. It's like the center, the city's called Center Point, I think, and it's like this center spot in between a bunch of really cool cities like Bandera, which is the cowboy capital, Kerrville and Fredericksburg, and it's just a cool little spot that for while we're there, we have access to a lot of these really great cities and lots of great Texas parks nearby. Yeah, so stoked for that. Obviously when that comes up, I'll be vlogging all the drawing I'm doing. That's what I'm planning on doing. That's why I was like, we should definitely pick a place that has no TV and no Wi-Fi. So that I don't get distracted and we do a lot of art. and just kind of hanging out. And I thought like it could be fun if we like both got a book, like the week before went shopping for books and found a book that we both can finish while we're there, just because we're gonna have so much time just like away from our screens and away from our phones and away from like TVs, and I'm just so stoked for that because like that's one of my goals this year is to like not spend so much time on screens, and I obviously have not been doing very well at that because I've been vlogging, so I've been editing, and then I've been also watching a lot of YouTube, and I don't know, it's just been kind of hard to do that recently with my schedule right now. But I think once the residency is done, I'm gonna commit more to that, especially because it's middle of March. Yeah, so I'll be gearing myself up for my birthday trip. Anyway, let me show you guys the outfit that I'm working on and a process shot of this drawing that I showed you in the last vlog. Okay, so before I do that, I'm actually reorganizing this space so that I can get ready to put all of my shit that's in the residency studio now back in here, and I wanted to reorganize it a little better. So this table actually used to be against this wall this way, and that is my partner Max's jewelry table. And then this sewing table, it collapses and like some of the sides fold down, and we could still roll it out. It has a bunch of different ways to maneuver it. It used to be like this against this half wall. But I like this long thing, and then we still have room here to put tables if we need it, or we can like pull this out, or we can rotate it. So many different things we can do with that. And then this morning I found a really nice easel for like a good price. One of those H-frame ones that can hold a large canvas on Dick Blick. So I'm gonna put that here. I'm gonna maybe have to rearrange a little bit depending on the size of it, but I'm gonna put that here, and then I'll have all my painting supplies here, and then in my office is where my drafting table is. So if I need to do drawings, I plan to do those in there, and then painting strictly out here. And I'll probably still put some sort of plastic or something on the wall or down on the carpet, just so I don't, like, if I'm splattering paint a little bit, it doesn't just like totally destroy this space. That's what I'm worried about. And maybe that's why I haven't really committed to having a nice studio for painting in here, because I've just been so worried about like ruining the wall. But I mean, I guess I gotta always just paint over it, but I still want like big globs of paint, you know, that you have to like smooth out and stuff like that. But we're gonna figure it out. So this is my outfit so far. Let me get you a better angle. Okay, hi, not wearing a cute outfit today, so don't judge me. So my partner and I celebrated our 9th anniversary yesterday, and we spent a lot of time at the studio, just like hanging out, making art, drinking some beer, and then we went to this place called El Chunky to get, I think that's what it's called, to get really good hot dogs. And then right down the street, like the same little complex, is this thrift store that we like going to called the Junk Depot, and the prices are weird there. Like some things are really expensive, and then some things are like very fairly priced, and so it's very hit or miss. Like there was this bird book she wanted, but it was fucking $20. What? Like I wouldn't even pay that at like a half price or like discounted bookstore, you know? I mean, granted it was a thick book, but like $20 at a thrift store for a book? What the hell? But I did find this unfinished quilt. This is not even all of it because I've cut it up for $8, which I don't feel like is that bad. Still maybe a little more than I wanted to spend, but I just love the green, and I love any sort of starburst sort of pattern. And I liked that all of the individual squares make up the star once they're put together, but individually they're not. They're just sort of just diagonals, you know? So I started to paint my jumpsuit, which I've shown before. I just was not loving it, and I just kind of abandoned it, hoping that I would get a better idea of what to do with it. And then I stumbled across that yesterday, and then spent the rest of Sunday night sewing this until my wrist hurt. My wrist still hurts. And I did it by hand just because I like doing this quilting kind of stuff by hand. So there were painted stars here, And so I painted those. I might keep the painted flower. I do like that. I don't love this, so I think I'm gonna figure out something here. I think I have some patches I can probably put here. I'm not sure. But then I took the quilted stuff, the quilt I bought, and I made these sort of double knees for them, and then put one of the starbursts on the back. And then I have an extra star that I cut out, probably gonna put it on the butt. So there's that. And then, yeah, once I get the star on the butt and then get this covered up, yeah, I like that actually. I think that's gonna be the outfit. I'm excited for it. So there's that. That's cool. Let me show you guys this drawing that I'm probably gonna finish maybe tonight. Whoops. So this setup of this sewing table by the window is actually so much nicer because it used to be angled this way, and so like I would end up blocking the light a lot, but here like the light is so perfect. So for when I'm doing a big drawing or like prepping a canvas or something, like I have direct sunlight, especially in the middle. It's like, what time is it? It's 1:30 now, and like that's when I'm planning to be working in the studio kind of thing. Once I transition back from the residency studio back to my home studio, yeah, so that's gonna be really nice to have this light because the sun is about to hit that window like perfectly. I know in the summer it's probably gonna be a little hot right here, but I can deal. Anyway, let me show you this drawing. So I think I had this not outlined yet. As you can see, it is like a road around the bend kind of thing. I filled in a little bit of the top portion. I just need to go in and fill in the big watercolor spaces here, and then I have like a block behind all this of like checkers and stuff to fill in. And I added these deer and like bull heads to make this place look like a taxidermy kind of place. And then I added in this cactus and like some of these other little desert sort of plants. I wanted this to have a little more of a Western kind of feel to it. I think I'm gonna start doing a little more like Western art. I don't know. Because I'm doing plein air, like landscapes, like there's such a big market for Western art, especially here in Texas. I think I've been thinking about that because we went to the Bob Bullock Museum, which is all Western art, and in like mid-March they have this thing called a night of the artists or something like that, where they bring a bunch of like pretty prominent Western artists and a bunch of like emerging Western artists for this like showcase of just like a bunch of Western art, and it's always really cool. And I've seen the exhibition maybe like a year or two ago and loved it. I didn't go like the opening night, but I went to go see it after, and it was pretty cool. And so I was thinking, I was like, you know, like this series that I'm developing is like, or this style kind of expands a bunch of different, I guess, quote unquote genres of art. Like it's plein air, it's landscape, it's illustration. Some of it's, I mean, it's all mixed media, but some of it's like fiber art, I guess you could consider it. I guess because there's like embroidery. It's like also design because it has a lot of design elements with the patterns and the colors. And then I was like, oh, I could also start putting some like Western elements into it. And I'm from Texas, so I could just be like, yeah, it's Western art. So I'm trying to think of different ways to market this. You know what I mean? So anyway, that is what's going on in my life. And updates that I have not given you because I've been really bad at filming recently. So hopefully you got something out of that. Going back to work now. Okay, I had spent the rest of the day working and getting like the house cleaned and stuff because I've been slacking on that. But I brought this painting home. I went to the studio to go snatch it, And because I have an electrician coming tomorrow, and the like time slot they gave me is all day long, so I figured I might as well just work from home tomorrow. And so I really want to make waves on this embroidery. I'm talking low because Max is sleeping. I don't want to wake her up, but also made progress on this guy. It's the next day. Made some progress on this. Ooh, a slow zoom. If you can see all of these tree lines, and like the branches, that is what I did last night and this morning. And now I'm working on this big drawing. I finished putting in all the watercolor and just going in with color pencil, and developing some textures, some patterns, and going over it with marker. And then I just need to get a frame for it. Oh my god, why am I so gassy this morning? Yeah, getting a frame for it. And I think this is gonna be pretty sick by the time I am done with it. That big painting that I just showed you, the embroidery, I knew it would take forever, and it is. But I think it's gonna be worth it because it's like the only embroidered piece in the show, and like I have to have some sort of nod to fiber art and stuff like that, because so I made this like book for the show. I don't think I've showed you guys any progress on that, but I ordered it maybe a week and a half ago or something. It's like a little zine, like 20 pages, and it has some pages from my sketchbook. It has some process shots of this work from the show, and I talk about like the residency and like how it went, and how grateful I am. But then I also talked about how in the process of making these works and like the lead up to it, I had been thinking a lot about the women in my family and how I just never really thought about it before, but like literally almost every woman in my family, if not all of them, on both sides, is really good at like some sort of fiber skill. Like, so when I was in high school, my mom, or I think I was in middle school, that's when skinny jeans were real popular, and I had bought some jeans that I really liked, but they just weren't skinny enough for me. And so my mom was like, okay, that's an easy fix, like, because we didn't have very much money, so she was like, you know, we don't have to go get new jeans, we can just alter these. Excuse me. And so she showed me how to take them in and make them skinnier, and she said she used to do that in high school, which I thought was really cool, that she like had that skill at such a young age and then taught me that skill. And that's something I still remember and cherish, because I know how to do that now. And also, like, when I was 10, I'm just gonna ramble, so if you're not here for that, maybe skip ahead. When I was 10, we went to go stay with my Aunt Terry, and she is like an award-winning cross-stitcher. And she taught my sister and I how to cross-stitch, and I still know how to do that to this day. And I actually just put in some cross-stitches into that big painting, and I'm going to do a few more little cross-stitches here and there as like a nod to her and a nod to all the other women in my family. My sister and I used to embroider stuff and like sew little things. My sister had a sewing machine in her room. I was just never a big fan of using the sewing machine. I don't love using it. I think it's too complicated for my brain. I like doing things with my hands, and like using machines is cool, but I don't know, there's something about using solely just your hands for something that just feels so different, and I like that feeling too much. So I don't use a lot of machines other than like the computer, obviously. But when it comes to crafts, like some sort of technical skill, I like using my hands. Not to say that sewing machines aren't valid. They're so valid. They're just not for me. So that's why a lot of the stuff I've done that's fiber art related has not been with a sewing machine. Let me see, what else in my family? My grandma used to work as an alterer. My Aunt Jeannie is super good at sewing. So we have a SeaWorld here, and she used to, it just shut down, but this company she worked for made all those like canvas awnings that hang over and give shade, and she is so good at like upholstery and like making curtains, and like she's crazy with the sewing machine. So cool. My great grandma on my dad's side used to sew Easter dresses that matched for my cousins and my sister and I fucking hated wearing them, but and then she taught my Aunt Judy how to sew, and she taught my grandma how to sew, and my Aunt Judy had even for like, I think last Christmas or this Christmas, gave me these Easter bunnies that had little outfits that she sewed, and I was so impressed by the outfits. They were so good. And like my grandma, when I lived with her, used to hem my brother's pants because he stayed so short for so long. Let's see, who else in my family? I mean, even my other, like, all my great grandmothers sewed, because that's just like a skill that, you know, women of their time learned growing up. And it's kind of unfortunate that a lot of people don't even know how to, like, when a button breaks on their shirt, or like a zipper breaks, or they get a little hole in their pants, like, it's unfortunate that a lot of people just don't know how to fix that nowadays. Like, that's just not a skill that was taught by a lot of parents, and like a lot of people just, like, when that happens, they just go throw those away or donate them and then go buy new. And like, that sucks, you know? That just contributes to like the landfills and contributes to capitalism, and most often those people are buying just crap or stuff made by tiny hands, you know. And so I think, you know, even just having basic sewing skills is such a nice thing to know. But also I'm that kind of person that, like, I like to be able to fix things that I own. And if I don't know how to do it, I'll learn it on YouTube or something, you know. Yeah, so I was thinking about, sorry, on a tangent, thinking about the women in my family and how they do fiber art or know how to do some sort of fiber technical skill, and how this show makes me feel connected to that, and it feels like a way to honor what I do as a visual artist, but also, and as a painter and an illustrator, but also take the skills that they have all taught me and sort of pass down and apply them in a new way and in a gallery setting. So, like, you know how, like, quilts are usually made as gifts. You know, like when you have a new baby, if you have a quilter in your life, they'll most likely make you a quilt, or I don't know. It's just a pretty standard practice with quilt making. It's, you know, you give those as gifts, and these sort of feel like gifts. Like, I feel like they're gifts to all the places that I've been able to go and explore and draw, because that truly has, like, saved my mental health whenever I started going outside for long walks and bike rides and stuff. Like, I had never felt so good in my life. Like, there was one point where I took a year off from drinking alcohol, and that's what I did as a replacement, was go outside and explore. And I'm so grateful that I did that, because it truly, like, saved my brain, my mental health. Yeah, I am so grateful for outside, you know, especially with the pandemic and we all had to stay inside. I would, you know, sometimes go for a walk in a park, and that would be the only thing I would get to do for a long while, you know. We all can relate to that. So it feels like a love letter, a gift to not only the women in my family who taught me these skills, but also to the outdoors and everything that has to offer. Yeah, I'm gonna probably, it's like 9:40. I'm so sorry I talked for like 10 minutes. Probably finish up here 20 more minutes working on this and then get to actual work, which I do not want to do. But I have a lot of things I'm a little bit behind on. So, God, also I'm so stuffy, and I've been stuffy for like a week. It's annoying because the weather keeps like not making up its mind. Like it's foggy. I thought I was gonna be so good today. I woke up and I was like, oh, I can breathe. And then as soon as I started like moving around and stuff, I was like, I can't breathe again. So that sucks. Anyway, I'm done rambling. Gonna get to work. So I been working today and getting stuff done. Here's the outfit of the day, by the way. The electrician came, fixed it, fixed that outlet that was like blinking because it needed to be replaced, and done. That guy he came and went so fast. $200, he was gone in like 10 minutes. Totally worth it, how quickly he did that. I probably could have fixed it myself if I knew how to do that. Like if I like really looked into it, I probably could have done it for way cheaper. But I don't know, electrical stuff scares me and I'd rather just pay somebody to do it. Anyway, it is such a gorgeous day. It's so gorgeous, and I didn't get to go outside like at all yesterday other than driving to the studio and then coming home. So I'm going to utilize that today because it's so gorgeous. I have to do it. Even though I have so much work to do and I'm behind on everything. But I deserve it. So I'm gonna go paint. I'm thinking at this place called McAllister Park because there's this one spot I've always wanted to paint, and it's like looking out over the airport, which is kind of cool, and the airplanes like go over you. So I might go do that. Yeah, and then I'm gonna hopefully take my time and then come back, maybe get some other sketches done for some clients, work on this puppy, work on that other drawing, and yeah. Excuse me, that's that. Also, I got an email from these people who, it's called Rainbow House Truck or something like that. And so it's like the Scholastic book truck, but it's only for queer books. So that's cool. And it's like, they're having like a banned book fest on March 13th at this restaurant here in San Antonio called The Good Kind, Southtown, which has really delicious food. So glad I'm gonna be getting me a good meal while I'm there. But I'm gonna do like an author meet and greet kind of thing and sell some of my books and stuff. So yeah, that's cool. I'm at the point where like, if anybody invites me to stuff like that now, I think because I'm trying to like start doing more art stuff. I know that's like book related, comic related. Whoa, I'm washed out. But I'm trying to just like meet people, you know what I mean? Trying to like make lots of connections. So, which, you know, sometimes those are a little bit out of my element, but you know, you can only learn if you force yourself to do stuff, right? So yeah, doing that, that's cool. Okay, gonna go for a paint. Gonna go for an old paint. We old chaps. Okay, I didn't film like anything because it was hot as balls, which is crazy because it's barely even spring. And yeah, I was sweating, and so I was just a little too in the moment to film anything, you know what I mean? So I was like, I went also somewhere else than I said I was, but it doesn't matter. I was like walking around trying to figure out where I wanted to draw and whatever, and then I was just like, oh my god, I'm hot, and I didn't bring as much water as I thought I did, and there's no water on the trail I went to, so I just didn't film, so that's it. But I did find this like little pavilion to like sit and draw some trees, just as like, I was like, I came here to draw, I gotta do at least one drawing. And I was alone basically the whole day, like I didn't see that many people. And then, of fucking course, when I go to sit at this pavilion and it's nice and quiet, I can hear the birds. These people come off of their walk to sit down for a little bit, which is fine, I don't care. I wouldn't care if they like chatted. But as soon as they sat down, this guy started playing a game on his phone and like turned up the music from the game. And so it was just the same shit over and over and over and over. And it wasn't like actual music, it was just like game music. Like you could hear it like it was just a game. Why do people do that? Why? Why do people do that? That's like one of my biggest pet peeves is when people play things like out loud in public places. Like, read the fucking room, dude. We're at a nature area. I'm here to listen to the birds. Come on. You don't need to listen to the stupid music on a game anyway. Like, it doesn't, you don't get anything out of that. You know what I mean? Anyway, I'm gonna do a little bit of work and then chill out for a little while. Another fantastic vlog from me. Hi, I just showered so my hair looks crazy. Honestly, this might be where I end this vlog. But let me show you this finished piece that I finished last night and then a little bit of the progress on the large embroidery. And then we'll chat a little bit and then this video will be done. Honestly, I have been loving working at this space. I'm glad I reorganized things. But here is the final of this piece. I ended up going with a jerky sign. I'm trying to figure out what I could put there with such a fat marker. And so I named it Jerky Stand. And it came out pretty sweet. I love how this goes all the way up the piece and kind of like pulls you back down. Heck yeah, came out awesome. Pretty proud of it. It kind of looks like a coloring book, honestly. So doing a coloring book of these would be pretty sick. An idea for future me. Okay, so I also made a little bit of progress on this last night. I finished the trees in the back like you saw and then added the branches in, and now I have started to go in and do the car. And honestly, it's been a little bit, this part went pretty fast. And I like how sketchy it's looking. It's pretty cool because the style of the rest of this is like totally opposite of the style of this, but it's almost like I'm looking through a stained glass window out at this car or something. It's pretty cool. I think somebody is really going to enjoy it, and I'm assuming this one will get sold one day for sure. I think somebody will fall in love with this because these colors are awesome. So I'm absolutely gonna film this with my wet hair because we keep things real around here, okay? We keep it real. Keep it tight. So that is like a few days of my life leading up to my solo show. I have submitted it to every online calendar thing I can think of, posted it everywhere. And it's only a matter of time. It like is about to happen. So, yeah, that's awesome. I'm so excited for it. I think this is the last, obviously the last big piece I'm gonna do because I move out of my studio next week and we set it up next week. It's Wednesday, the 28th. Not leap day yet. And so I'm just gonna get a frame for that big one. I gotta get a frame for another collage I did. I need to paint those so they match the show. Probably another blue to match the other blues I've done. And then this guy, the edges, I'll paint blue. There's a lot of blue in this show. Yeah, and then obviously finish the embroidery. Yeah, I like how that one has come out so far. I'm so sorry if you can hear my dog licking his paws. Finny, come on, dude. You don't need to lick those. Anyway, yeah, solo show. If you're in San Antonio or near San Antonio and you can find your way here on second Saturday, March 9th, we will be at Southtown Art Gallery from 6 to 11, showing the show. Showing the show. Come say hi, say what's up, and see the art in person, because seeing art on a video and online is so different than seeing it in person. Because I want you guys to come see all the little details that I've been putting into these, because I'm pretty proud of them. So yeah, there's the video. Like and subscribe or whatever. If you need art supplies, shop my Dick Blick link. I just bought myself that easel with my own link and got my own kickback from it. That's nice. Yeah, go make some art. Even if you don't want to, force yourself to do it, because once you start it, you might not be able to stop. Whoa, big gust of wind. Okay, bye.